Welcome from Poipet to the World, a space where we explore projects that transforms lives. Today, we'll talk about the global challenge that impacts the future of thousands of children, the lack of access to quality education in Poipet, Cambodia. Imagine for a moment being a child with the desire to learn, but without books, without trained teachers, and with the pressure of working from a young age. How can we change this reality?
Hoi Pet is one of the most vulnerable cities in Cambodia. Despite the country's economic growth in recent decades, education remains a privilege for a few. Only 20% of the students complete upper secondary school, 80% finish sixth grade, and 40% complete basic secondary education. Without educational opportunities, many children are trapped in a cycle of poverty, child labor, and exploitation. This issue is directly related to Sustainable Development Goals, SDG 4, quality education, SDG 8, decent work and economic growth, and SDG 10, reduce inequality.
Kate, as you just mentioned, this is a global challenge. Imagine that the City Council of Ontinyent in Spain has funded projects in countries like Guatemala, El Salvador, and Honduras, focused on improving the quality of education in rural areas, aiming to reduce the educational gap and therefore the socio-economic stratification in these regions. But to understand this better, let's use a metaphor, a kite without a string. The children of Poipet are like kites that want to fly high, but without the string of education, they are left adrift. Without the access to basic tools, their dreams fade away. Today, we'll explore how an innovative project aims to provide the string that connects them to a better future.
Let's meet Soka, a 12-year-old girl from Poipet. Her day starts before the sun rises. She helps her mother at the market and takes care of her younger siblings while her father works in construction. Although she dreams of becoming a teacher, her reality is pulling her further away from school. Without access to books, technology, or well-trained teachers, her education becomes an unsustainable luxury.
Soka's story is the story of many children in Pipet. While in countries like Colombia there are inclusive education programs, in Cambodia, children face structural barriers that are hard to overcome. Extreme poverty, lack of proper school, and a culture that prioritizes where overeducation limits their opportunities.
To better understand the context, we analyze the cultural differences between Cambodia and Colombia using Hofstede's dimensions. In Cambodia, hierarchy and collectivism are fundamental, which means educational decisions largely depend on the community and local authorities. In contrast, in Colombia, although inequalities also exist, there is a greater access to support programs and technology. This difference means that the solution must be culturally sensitive and adapted to local needs. All of this is based on the general hypothesis that the access to quality education for children aged 5 to 18 in Poipet, Cambodia, is hindered by the inequality that prevails in the region. This educational gap perpetuates the cycle of poverty, labor, and child exploitation based on survival, making it even harder for education to be seen as a fundamental need.
To carry out this project, we faced several challenges. The first was cultural acceptance. Many families in Pipet consider child labor necessary for survival. How do we convince parents that investing in education will bring long-term benefits?
During negotiations with Cambodia's Ministry of Education, we encountered resistance to adopting foreign methodologies. For some, the project could be seen as an imposition. However, we reached agreements by designing a curriculum adapted in collaboration with local teachers. Additionally, support from international organizations like UNICEF and UNESCO helped validate the initiative.
Throughout the process, Soka and other children shared their stories with us. Their eagerness to learn was evident, but economic and cultural barriers made it difficult for them to access education. We realized that the problem wasn't just the lack of resources, but also the mentality that education was not a priority for everybody.
We applied a cooperative negotiation strategy. seeking benefits for all. This participatory leadership allowed the project to be accepted by both of authorities and the community. However, there were still challenges. How could we ensure the long-term sustainability of the project? To address this, we formed partnerships with the private sector, NGOs, and university, creating a mixed financing model.
Additionally, we developed community empowerment strategies, training local leaders to promote the value of education within their own communities. This created a multiplier effect, where Poipet's residents themselves became advocates for the education.
It wasn't an easy path. We had to make adjustments, listen to the community, and find creative ways to motivate students. For example, we implemented an incentive system where children who attended class regularly received school supplies, food, and in some cases, even financial support for their families.
Finally, the Community Resource Center opened its doors. It's not just a school, it is a space of hope. Here, children receive English lessons, digital literacy training, and job readiness skill. Workshops are created where students learn uses skills for their future, such as basic programming, communication in English, and small business management.
The community is also actively involved. Soka parents who were initially skeptical begin to see the positive impact on their daughter. Teachers receive continuous training and apply new methodologies, creating a dynamic and engaging educational environment.
To evaluate the impact, we measured key indicators like program completion rates, employment prospects for graduates, and the diversity of students. We also gathered testimonies showing the tangible change in the children's lives. We found that beyond learning, the center became our safe refuge, a space where children feel valued and supported.
Thanks to the integration of technology, we've been able to reduce the digital divide and increase job employment opportunities. Additionally, the model has expanded to the other regions of Cambodia, demonstrating that with the right education, it's possible to break the cycle of poverty.
Today, Soka continues to study and dreams of becoming a teacher. Her study is proof that education has the power to change lives. Mentorship programs have been established so that graduated students can support new ones, ensuring the long-term sustainability of the project.
And so, Ankai with our stream has found its way. Thank you for joining us on this journey. We hope this story inspires more initiatives in favor of education and equality around the world. Until next time.